chopping in and out. Okay, I guess not.
You seem to be good. So, okay, so if Sheila doesn't show up.
We are live. So let's just go with it. Hello, everybody. I believe we're live and we have our beautiful family joining us in now. So welcome, everybody, to the weekly Portal to Ascension show, in which I am one of your co-hosts here with my good friend Joan of Angels. And we've been going pretty strong, pretty consistent. I feel very accomplished. Let me just say that much, because even though I do a lot of events, it's hard for me to commit to weekly events sometimes. So just committing to this whole thing and making it happen makes me feel pretty good about life. So hello to everybody. Welcome. This is our Tuesday show, and we're going to continue going through to next year. Joan and I have scheduled quite a few amazing guests all the way up until April, and then we're kind of going to see and feel the energy at that point and see what we're going to do. But really going to showcase a lot of amazing speakers that we have coming up on Portal to Ascension, including some like phenomenal conferences next year, like the Crystal Skulls Conference, the Kundalini Online Conference, and one of my favorites, ET Technology, Planets and Races Conference, which we're going to have some people on as well. And that's going to be a lot of grounded practical information, as well as the esoterics of extraterrestrial life, all of which I am co-producing with Joan of Angels. And today, I'm just going to give it right over to Joan in just a second here. But today we are going to be bringing on guests from our walk-ins conference, which is going to be the beginning of next year, January 8th and 9th. And it's going to be basically our celebration. We always have a big event at the beginning of the year, every single year, and we really do set the energy with it. So today we're going to have not only one of the producers of this event, Sheila Seppi, but also some of the guests. So let me just go ahead and acknowledge and say hi to my really beautiful friend, Joan. How you doing?
I am doing great, Neil. And I just want to say something. I am so proud of you for committing every week to doing the show with me. And because it's getting wonderful feedback. I noticed that a lot of people are viewing it on your channel and on mine, and people love having that kind of one-on-one kind of, you know, maybe they can't get enough of you, Neil. I'm beginning to think. But anyway, I love Portal to Ascension, and I'm so excited to work with everyone. Anyway, guys, it's really wonderful to see you all at our weekly updates. And today we're really talking about walk-ins and the qualities of it, and getting you excited about what's to come, and meeting some wonderful walk-ins and find out what makes them tick. And our dear friend Sheila Seppi, I'm going to bring her up right now. We're fighting to bring her up here in the back room. So here's Sheila. She is actually the co-producer or the producer of the walk-in conference. So hello, Sheila. Welcome. Well,
hi. Thank you guys for having me on. I have to say I'm experiencing some internet difficulties here this afternoon, so I hope that I'll be able to stay online this entire time. But if not, I know you guys will carry on.
We got it.
Well, we will. And by the way, guys, if you don't mind liking, subscribing, and sharing so we can get this information out, we'd really appreciate that. So tell us about the upcoming conference and who we have coming online with us today.
Well, I am super excited about our conference that's coming up. This is January the 8th and the 9th. And today we have several of our speakers with us. We have Stephanie Lodge, we have Bridget Renee Holiday, and we have Karen Swain. And Stephanie, I really am excited to hear her story and to share that with you guys, because she is an angelic walk-in. Bridget and Karen both have had lots and lots of galactic experiences, and I think that it's important to bring them on as well, because, you know, walk-ins have to come from somewhere. And so as we traverse and come in, we'll be coming in from planets, we come in from different dimensions, etc. And so I'm very excited to have these ladies with us today.
We are excited too. And I hadn't thought about the fact that they come from different dimensions, or different places rather. But that is in itself, maybe we can even start there with a little bit, finding out what places everyone came from. Who shall we start with? Are we starting with Stephanie, I think?
Yay, sure.
We can.
All right, Stephanie.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Joan. How are you?
I
love that we have that angel connection. I'm happy to be here.
I was
Can you hear me
noticing
okay?
that yesterday. Mm-hmm. So where did you walk in from, Stephanie?
At well, that's an interesting story. When I was about 5 years old, I flew in, I landed, and I remember walking from my bedroom to the kitchen, and I suddenly stopped in the hallway, and I went, oh. I looked around and I said, my name's Stephanie. Oh, my mom said, yes. I just had this conscious moment of just being here finally. And I think up until that point, I was hovering. I was hovering in and out, bouncing in and out, not really committed. And so that was the moment I became committed to being here. And I went through different experiences to really ground me into my body. I fell off a cliff at the age of 7 at summer camp. And I remember falling through the air. I just walked off this mountain kind of like trail, I guess you could say, at camp, because all the grass looked really pretty and it was all even. And I thought it was land. I thought you could just walk out. And I walked out and I went flying through the air. And it was my first really understanding how greatly protected I am, because when I landed, I had a big goose egg on my forehead, but otherwise I was fine. I stood up like nothing happened. And it was just the weirdest experience because I didn't even know to cry. I was probably a little bit in shock, but I was fine. And then this little girl came up to me, like one of my playmates, and she said, oh my God, if I was you, I'd be crying. And I went, oh, okay. And then I just started sobbing, right? It was almost like I was still trying to figure out how to really be human. Later in life, I fell off a horse. I got thrown from a horse really badly more recently. And there was more integration, and I find that sometimes angels have a hard time staying in their bodies. We don't really enjoy being in the body, and I escape my body all the time. But more often than not now, I've learned really the importance of connection and bringing the light through my vessel into the planet to assist the harmonization of the planet. So that is my purpose of why I came in. I come from you see how we come into form, right? We triangulate. We come through different signals or signatures. So I do resonate with the Palladian Andromedans. That's kind of the trail I took this time around. But I am a seraphim, and I carry a lot of the architectural codes or keys, I call them, to liberate the matrix. So I come in to support humanity's elevation and evolution, and the ascension over all of the angelics on earth. So that is what I'm here to do, and why I created Angelic Academy and everything that I do to support angels in human form.
And you're going to be speaking at the conference too. Do you know what you're going to be speaking about?
I think ultimately there's a few different options that I'm still playing with. So I don't actually have it laid down 100% because I'm an angelic light stream. So that means is I'm always in stream. I'm buffering or streaming at any time. And so I always trust my counsel that I work with and what is most appropriate in the moment. So I always said there's wiggle room for flexibility.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sheila, what else do we have to say?
But one thing that's been really on my heart is angelic immunity and really energetic body, understanding how the body really is leeway through our ascension process in many ways. So the importance of really tuning in and making sure the body systems, intelligences have had a chance to release maybe traumas and things of that nature. But ultimately, I'll talk about really what it means to be an angel in human form.
Which is very profound. I know that personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm excited.
And we're excited. We're so excited. Go ahead, Sheila. Take it away.
I was just going to say when I first talked to Stephanie, it was like, oh my gosh, she's got to tell her story, because it seems like so many times walk-ins and starseeds have a resonance of their voice that just by speaking to people, just by sharing their information, that they're able to open up those light codes and keys. The very fact that Stephanie is teaching about those keys and sharing that information with people was one of the things that really caught my interest, because my son is also an angelic walk-in. And so I was very excited to hear your story, and I know other people are going to be excited as well.
Yeah, and the keys that Sheila's referencing are related to the 72 angels, right? But the way that they're working now is a much more cosmic, expanded nature. So I teach them with that in mind. And the Magdalene consciousness, what I call the cosmic Magdalene, came in to mentor me because we are really harmonizing the planet to bring the masculine, feminine, elevated consciousness into balance, right? And so she was really my governess as far as teaching me how to be an angelic in human form as she was. So that is really one of the things that I bring forward, is the understanding of how we tap into the Magdalene to support us when we are angels in a body, because it's a different way to calibrate, you know, when we have different pains in the body. And I would be bringing in so much fog because I had the seraphim connection without knowing that, because I was still learning a lot of regaining, you know, remembering, right? And as I was going through that process, I would blow out the suit. I would literally be in so much inflammation and pain, I wouldn't be able to walk, you know? So my biggest message, and I guess my biggest joy and honor, is to assist people so that they can be more comfortable, you know, being here, and to really give them tools to reset and restore their systems and harmonize them for most optimized light. So that's why I'm here. And I just want to say thank you. And I'm so honored to be with all these other beautiful, beautiful beings. So thank you.
We are so glad to have you. And excited about the conference, because what you're sharing with me today is why it's important for people to know not only if they're a walk-in, but then what we can learn from walk-ins. I mean, I think that it's a critical piece of information that most people don't have. And you bring specific, not just the codes, but DNA activations and wisdom from all these other places. And that's why it's important that we learn from you. Oh, so I'm really grateful. Sheila, that was wonderful that you found her.
I know. That was all due to Miss Bridget that's here. I was talking with her, and she kind of introduced me to Stephanie through conversation. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to reach out to this lady. So I really started texting really quickly, trying to get a hold of her. And fortunately, we connected. And I think there's an energetic bond that happens to people when they are of like mind or of like resonance. Because right now on this planet, where we're going through in the solar system, we're being inundated with all of these new energies. And these new energies are bringing in light codes that's helping to activate our consciousness to help us remember the truth of who we really are. And so whether people are walk-ins, starseeds, hybrids, dimensional beings, angelic beings, we're all beginning to wake up, and this conference is going to share so much information. It's going to have so many stories of people who are doing that very thing that I really don't want anyone out there to miss it. So, you know, please check it out. January the 8th and 9th, you can go to Portal to Ascension and register for the conference right now.
You absolutely can. And I also want to mention one other thing, Sheila, that I think is very important, that people connect with other people in these events.
Yes.
And more, it's important for us to have a sense of community. And that's another reason to come to the conference. You find your own kind, your own tribe, right? So that's beautiful. Right. So how did you meet, Sheila, how did you meet Bridget?
Gosh, Bridget. How did we meet? Oh, I know. Alan Steinfeld said, you've got to reach out to this lady. I've heard her on Clubhouse. She has the Awaken Ascensioning Room. She does some wonderful presentations. I think you would really like her. And so I just picked up the phone and started trying to reach out to her. First, I think that I emailed, got her the number, and then gave her a call. And it was another one of those 15-minute calls that turned into an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours.
I think it was three and a half.
Oh, was it?
I think our first call was 3.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
So
we were like, we're just going to talk for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Do you have 30 minutes to spare? But there is that resonance. And we've never met each other face to face. But every time that I see her, every time that I hear her, that resonance gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And so even though we have conferences and connections that are online, on the internet, through the telephone, it's that resonance that we all connect into. And there are so many people right now that's out there looking for their community. They are waking up and they just don't know where to turn. And so, Bridget, can you tell us about the clubhouse room that you have and a little bit about what goes on there and a little bit about your story too?
Yeah, so Clubhouse is a drop-in audio-only app. And I co-create a club called Awake and Ascending. And we hold conversations every Monday and Friday at 4:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, 12:30 a.m. UK, because Nimesh is actually in the UK. And we also do a Thursday night room where we stream in some stuff that Sheila has going on with W.I.S.H, right? So all of those Thursday night rooms we stream in. But what we speak of in there, we're a unity consciousness focused club, right? And it's myself and 5 other activated starseeds. And it's Brittany Lynn, Nimesh Radius, Sonia Lee, Denton Bricker, and Faye K. If you're looking for their names on Clubhouse, that's who you're looking for. And we do everything as a group, right? All of our decisions are as a group. We do it in a way that is very, unity consciousness, but we hold very high vibratory rooms and create a very high vibratory, safe, loving, energetic container for these conversations that we have about, anything from ascension to Akashic records to, conversations that we all love, but, normalizing the conversations around extra dimensionals, interdimensionals, ultradimensionals, and extraterrestrials as well. Lots of conversations about starseed and things of that nature. So we do this. I mean, I'm sure we've all spent hundreds of hours on Clubhouse, talking about all of these things and really just, helping people to shift perspectives. One of the focuses I have right now within my human experience is I'm an ascension contact specialist. And that's really just a fancy title that my soul team, which is what I call our team of beings who are here to guide and assist us and support us throughout our human existence, that are our friends and family from beyond the human incarnation. They told me I was an ascension contact specialist, and I'm like, that makes sense. It totally fits with everything that I'm doing. And it's really just a fancy title for, I communicate with the higher realms, and we assist everyone else to remember their innate ability to do that for themselves. But also that I help people shift their perspectives so that they can release limitations, step into their power, explore their innate connections, which I've just talked about, and also really explore and hone those innate abilities that I call soul senses that we have a lot of labels for. But really the overarching theme to all of this is just to remember that you are already whole. You already have everything you need for this life, and you've trained lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes for this particular human experience. So the way I perceive it is that, our soul is expressing in many different forms simultaneously to the human form. I particularly I hold angelic frequency as well as Pleiadian, Sirian, Arcturian, Lyran, and Andromedan. But I hold more than that. Those are just the activated frequencies within my human experience right now. If we probably don't have labels for, yet human labels for all of the different frequencies that we all hold. But that is what I do in this world, and my service is just really to help raise the vibration. But I'm also a galactic peace ambassador, so I experience myself going onto ships as my parallel lives, you know, however you want to say it, not other versions of me as Bridget, but you know, I have a couple of Pleiadians that are in conclaves, and then I have a Syrian ambassador as well. And there are a couple of others, but that's enough for now. But I experience myself as them during dreams time. Very frequently, I'm up on ships as, you know, the person that I'm fractalized from, the being that I'm fractalized from. So that's a whole other conversation, which is really interesting. But yeah, that's where I am now. So I think it's important, as we're remembering who we are. That phrase has been really just radiating out from the higher dimensions for over a decade now. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. We're just lifting the veils, the illusions of forgetting and separation, right? And we're in each now moment, you know, deciding the new way of the human experience. Like, how are we going to be human going forward? And that's just what I help people remember in themselves.
I just want to say I love what you just said there, and right at the end. How are we going to be human going forward? That's the
Yeah.
I felt that
We're
one in my
creating a
heart.
new human experience. That's what makes this particular moment in humanity's evolution and consciousness so thrilling for so many of us, is that, you know, we're straddling an old paradigm, what we've labeled old, right, and what we've labeled new. And we're straddling between two, you know, essentially two paradigms, and we're choosing in each now moment what we want to inflate and what we want to deflate, while carrying over the things that support us as individuals, but also as a collective, right? So it's really, really interesting that, you know, I think Sheila earlier said, you know, when we were talking about this earlier, she said, you know, at 200 years from now, it's going to be a totally different experience for humans as they come in. And I'd say even sooner than that, right? We're already seeing the shifts. That's why there's such, you know, apparent upheaval and intensity right now, because it's a magnification for us to all have that moment of going within to say, oh, where am I holding these frequencies, right? How am I attached to this being in existence in the world, right? And when we can, you know, decide what fits our current reality and what we're building within ourselves, then, you know, the more and more of us that do that, the less dense those things become, the less dualistic this experience becomes, and the more we step into our fifth dimensional frequency that is then, you know, projected into our external reality. So yeah, it's very exciting stuff. I know I'm talking to a lot of you that already understand this deeply, and I'm really grateful to be here for this.
Beautiful. Awesome. Joan, you're muted.
Beautiful, Bridget.
That was just beautiful, Bridget. I have to say something. I think Stephanie brought it up about the voice. There's something about your voice, okay? Now, I understand that sometimes my clubhouse will accidentally open, and I swear I hear your voice often. It's like somehow right in your club. I probably never spoke in your club either, but your voice just resonates. And as I'm listening to you, you're like putting me in an altered clubhouse state. So I just want to say that it really, and that's global. That's amazing. I really love what you had to say. All right, go ahead, Sheila.
Beautiful. Thanks, Bridget. So next we have Karen Swain, and Karen is a teacher of deliberate creation who is supporting New World teachers. So that was a statement that I asked. I said, so Karen, what do you want me to say? That was her statement. So now can you explain that to everyone?
Yeah, hi everyone. I loved what all of you had to say. So my main goal here, I just want to remind everyone of who we are. No matter where we come from, we are a spirit, you know, dancing in many different experiences throughout the cosmos. And we have to remember that all of us are having different aspects of ourselves walking into our human experience as we integrate all the density, like so many star seeds. I see star seeds and indigos and hybrids and light workers and light weavers. We can give everyone, or angelic souls are coming in to sort of clean up the density on Mother Earth. And so they're taking on a lot of collective trauma and karma, and in their DNA, they're coming into families that have had a lot of distortion that has not been integrated or transformed or transmuted or healed. And what I do is I teach people about how we can be deliberate in creating this world. So I see so many sensitive, intuitive, amazing souls that are coming into this earth experience, and they're suffering. Sheila, we were online the other night, and somebody who is just the most incredible person, I won't say her name, said how she just hates being human and she suffers and she can't wait to get out of the body. And I thought, well, that's directly what I'm addressing in the sort of galactic starseed, sensitive, intuitive, empathic soul that doesn't understand how to navigate the density on planet Earth and really take on that mission, I suppose, that we take on when we come into this density, and we take on a whole lot of trauma in order to heal it or transmute it or integrate it. So I had, Marina Seren on my show recently, and she's one of these galactic souls that absolutely knew that she was, she's had horrendous experiences in the MK Ultra program, and, some horrendous, tortured and all, experimented on. But I don't know if it's her physical body that she's wearing at the moment. That's something we didn't go into. But she understood that that was her initiation into third density. Like, I've come in here to experience the traumas of what it is to be human so that I can integrate it or heal it. And as I do that within my own DNA, structure, energy structure, I do that for the collective, for the unified field of what is the collective consciousness of humanity. And so a teacher of deliberate creation is helping people be deliberate in how they create their world and how they, navigate this density. It's really all about taking back your power to express and experience physical life in the way you want to. When that person that we were online with the other day said that how much she hated being human, it really shocked me, because she's doing such amazing work here in the world. Like, she's awesome. And why be here and not love it? We can love being human regardless of the work that we're doing, cleaning up, the density. My guides have said to me that Earth is a dirty house, and the light is being turned up on planet Earth, has been slowly, it feels fast at the moment, but it has been ever turning up as we move into the next experience here on planet Earth. And when you turn up the light, you get to see the dirt, right? The distortion. You get to see everything that is in contrast to the light. So the light is pure positive energy, liquid love, unconditional liquid love, expansion, infinite intelligence, infinite creative potential. And when you turn that energy up, you get to experience and disclose and uncover everything that is not in alignment with that. And so that's what we're seeing on planet Earth at the moment. But we don't have to, and we do that personally. When we turn up the light in our own being, we get to experience all that is out of alignment with it. So all the thought forms and the collective DNA consciousness that we've taken on as light weavers that are here to transmute it, we get to experience it in ourselves. But we don't have to suffer while we're doing that. You can do it joyfully. I say you've just got to have a really good sense of humor. You've got to know who you are as infinite intelligence, as an extension of the source, as spirit. You're not even soul, you're spirit. Spirit is all that is. Spirit is God. Spirit is angels. Spirit is ET. Spirit is extra dimensional. Spirit is your dead relatives and friends. We are spirit having a physical earth experience, but we are spirit having an ET experience. We are spirit having an angelic experience. We are, we can play in the cosmos. And when you remember who you are as spirit, you start to be aware of who you are as human, or aware of the density in this world, and you can be aware of it with love and with gratitude and appreciation, rather than pushing back, and like, no, I don't want this, I don't want this. Anyway, I'm getting feedback. So yeah, having a good sense of humor really helps do that. So I really resonate with what you said, Stephanie, about being an angelic soul and feeling very sensitive and sort of suffering. I think she's frozen.
What you said, Stephanie, about being an angelic soul.
Is everyone else hearing that feedback, or is that just me?
Yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't know where that's coming from. Yeah, so that's me. So what am I going to talk about at the conference would be your next question. I'm going to
exactly.
talk about
that. And you're telepathic as well. Huh?
Yeah, well, I love what Bridget said too about moving into the what it is to be human, the next experience of being human, and that telepathy is where we're going. So, as someone that came in very telepathic and very tapped in already to those psychic and intuitive gifts, when I was a young girl, meeting people and seeing or feeling the incongruity between what they said and what they felt was something that really confused me as a young girl. They would have a happy face on and say, oh, I'm fine, wearing the mask, and you could feel the pain within them. So, so it is confusing for, I know many sensitive souls, that because when you're telepathic, right, you can't lie. People just can't lie. So if you're having a telepathic communication with someone, you're exchanging information through emotion, through energy and motion. So if someone's throwing energy at you, exactly, like that packet of energy, there is more to it than just listening to words. You feel, you see it, you feel it, you know it. It's like a very different experience. And a lot of us are experiencing that, especially the children. Every baby experiences that when they're born. They can't communicate verbally. And so mother and child are already tapped into that telepathic communication, and they're communicating telepathically already. And the baby doesn't understand that the mother and the baby are separate. They feel like one being. What the baby experiences, the mother experiences. What the mother experiences, the baby experiences. And so that's where we're moving as a human society, that knowing that oneness of being, that you are me and I am you, and what you feel, I feel, and not to suffer over that. So, yeah, I could rabbit on for ages, as you know, Sheila. So being deliberate, being deliberate creators of your reality, and knowing how to clean up your own energy field so that you don't have to suffer over other people's. Yeah. That's me.
I love
That's
that.
awesome. Yeah.
And
that's true. Oh, yeah. My Willow. This is my little Willow partner here. He's with me all the time. But, I can remember I was in the collective before I incarnated. And I was there as my multidimensional self. Mm-hmm. And there was such, just pure love, unconditional love. It was like a primal beat within the etheric cloud field, whatever it was that we were in. And it was just so natural. And then coming here, landing in the body of a 38-year-old who was in the middle of a dysfunctional marriage, a very sick body, which immediately was healed. It was kind of like, whoa, and I used to have such a longing to go home. Well, the longer that I'm here, the more I have integrated, obviously. And it's just like, what a beautiful experience that we are all having this opportunity to share. We're on the cusp of moving humanity into this whole different dimensional format of what we call to be human. And I find that so exciting. So exciting. And I just love that all of you guys are going to be with us at the walk-in conference. And, you know, this is just like a tiny taste of the knowledge and the energy and the depth of who you are that we're getting a taste of today. And I just feel really lucky and very blessed to have all of you guys participating in this workshop. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it is a great honor to be on Earth at this time. I feel like every soul that is here experiencing the integration and the transition of this human experience, you know, did so because they knew they could handle it. And it is a great honor. And I think it's a great honor to be with all you amazing people, you know, now, today, and also for the walk-in conference.
I just wanted to add, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I had to change. This is my third device that I'm on. A lot of energy, and there's some interference. I did put up a halo to kind of support, but I was hearing a lot of echoing and a lot of things going on, so it was quite interesting on my side. But what I do know is we're really in an interesting reset time right now, and I just wanted to bring attention to that because we just had this 12-12 alignment, and what was interesting is I did a activation on the 12-12 group, and we called in for full revaluation of the planet, and we called our power back for greater sovereignty. And what was fascinating is the signal came in, and my angels always have a really good sense of humor. So it came to my attention that there was a hack done to the crypto markets, and suddenly all these people within minutes became trillionaires. And even though, of course, it's a hack, and we know that that's going to play out, you know, technologically, but I just thought how interesting that it's like that call that we make, right, is heard. And it's just, that's the thing that I really feel right now, you know, my clarion call for the other angels on the planet right now is, I kind of feel like Glenda the Good Witch saying this with like the munchkins, you know, come out wherever you are. It's like, everybody come on out. It's okay to come out. Because I do feel that so many have been kind of hiding, you know, and is it safe? I don't know. And that energetic sensitivity, I'm shifting into energetic awareness so that people understand it's not about being vulnerable anymore. You know, we're not vulnerable. We are eternal, immortal beings fundamentally in the consciousness of all. So it's just our understanding of claiming and owning and knowing what we can create. And my main message, you know, leading in case people aren't able to make the conference for whatever reason, which of course we would love everyone to be there, but to really understand right now how important to value your currency. And your greatest currency is your consciousness. And in my opinion, right now, what we invest in, we are building, we are co-creating. So my invitation is to unplug from the drama, trauma around us and the conditions that are playing out, because these are all the conditions that we have been co-creating for millennia that must come to the surface to be neutralized, cleaned, and cleared and resolved. So if we keep looking at them, creating relationship with them, going, oh my God, what is that? And feeding into it, it's never going to go. And so, you know, that idea that we are always able to now change the channel, switch and move and focus on the realities we'd like to build and understand the architectural ability we have in our consciousness to do so. So that's my main frame message right now that's coming in from my councils, you know, just to share that even in these moments where the tech goes a little wonky, right, that we still persevere. And we know that fundamentally the truth always comes through as far as our individual versions of it, right? Because we all have our own versions. And that when we're speaking from our hearts, it has impact. And so as long as whoever's watching right now understands that you are so loved, you are so supported, you are surrounded by legions, you are never alone. We have you. You are so connected at all times, and that is really important for someone in this broadcast to hear. So I'm speaking to you, whoever you are, and I just send so much love. They call me the hug angel, so I'm giving you big hugs, all of you, and just say thank you again. I'm so honored and grateful to be here.
I really heard that, and I really heard too. You know, this is a time where they're calling all angels calling all hybrids, calling all walk-ins, all starseeds, all walk-ins. I mean, light workers, all of us are needed right now. So I see this conference as another activation to wake up more people to why they're here and what they're supposed to be doing. It's very powerful. So we are calling all people who are more than just human. Let's put it that way.
Which is all of us.
Which is all of us.
You know?
Everyone.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to think that we're all divine sparks. We're all fractals of source. And even though we think that we are isolated, I mean, it's impossible. We are surrounded so much at all times that it's just impossible for us to be separate. And it's so cool to think that each one of us gets to carry out this individual aspect, to have these individual experiences so that source is really edified. You know, the creator becomes the created. And that's in all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm loving the comments. Totally. There's some great comments here.
Yes.
So I'm going to jump in really quick and just let everyone know once again, you could sign up for this conference. It's going to be on January 8th and 9th on portaltoascension.org. Go to online events right there. And it's on the first page. It's like the third or fourth one down. But it's going to be 2 days. And we have a panel on each day in which some guests that aren't even going to be in the conference presenting are going to be joining for the panel. So not only do we have everyone listed on the website, but we also have more people joining in with us too. So it's going to be a lot of awareness, a lot of information. And just like I said the other day when we had a conversation, that we're talking about Walk-ins Conference, and you may think, oh, that's the theme of the event. But really, that's just the title of the event, because the theme is what each aspect that each individual has to bring in being a walk-in, right? Which could be completely a whole different aspect of consciousness, ascension, extraterrestrial awareness, dimensional awareness, that other individuals aren't even touching on. So it's really going to be a full cosmic kind of interdimensional event where we're going to be bringing in many different angles of what this really means for humanity, how we can utilize this information as we evolve in the years and the months and years to come, and what we can do, the steps we can take to empower ourselves to create the world that we know is possible. And every time I say that, I like to put a little caveat, because it's not about like working so hard for a future. It's really about figuring out the tools needed to be present in this moment. And as we are present and we see the beauty and the joy in the moment that we're currently experiencing, right? The paradox is that's how you create an ascended future. That the only way you ascend into a reality where you can have this peace on earth, no monetary system, everybody living in harmony with the plants and animals, is if you really find the tools to be empowered in the moment, enjoy just the fact that you exist, right? Not for what you do, but just for the fact that you are, you know? And I've always said I've kind of been on a search for not loving myself for what I do, even though I love what I do, Portal to Ascension and all the stuff, but loving myself for just the simple fact that I'm a human that exists and that I'm just here on this planet to experience, you know? And as we more and more of us embody the true unconditional love, which isn't based on who you are as a person, what you do as a person, but the fact that you are a fractal of the one, right? A fragment of the one, but also the one at the same exact time. That's when we can create this world. And so this event is obviously, that's everything we do at Portal to Ascension, but this one is really community oriented, sharing love and wisdom with each other, and starting out the year. It's like a New Year's celebration. So again, portaltoascension.org, online events, and everybody who wants to attend this 25% discount, use the code PTA, Portal to Ascension, PTA 25, Portal to Ascension 25. So PTA 25, go there, you get 25% off. And lastly, once more, the panels will actually be streamed on our YouTube as well. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube, and you'll be able to check that out.
It sounds amazing, Neil. It sounds like a fantastic conference. And one of the things I like is that it's going to give a lot of people who are confused about this concept of being a walk-in and what it means. And so, or even if they are a walk-in, I've seen comments, well, I just found out I'm a walk-in. how do you know? And so I feel like we're giving validity, even more validity to the consciousnesses that are developing and expanding now on the planet. So, I mean, I think that, and this is probably a first of its kind to have these walk-in conferences, these hybrid conferences. So, Sheila, it's amazing that you were called to do this.
Thanks. You know, and I think what else is amazing is after the first walk-in conference, I was inundated with so many texts and emails. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to answer all these. And I was really trying to get to them. And I was trying to get groups together so that we could all talk and support each other. And that's how really that the W.I.S.H Alliance came into be. The W.I.S.H stands for Walk-ins, Indigos, Starseeds, and Hybrids, but we are really a multi-dimensional conscious evolution. It started out as a group, but now we seem to be a movement, and we're just growing by leaps and bounds, and people are coming because they're finding that support. They're finding that connection with each other. And we do have, every Thursday night, we have free meetings. There's Zoom meetings. We have a presenter every Thursday. And the cool thing is after that, then you can ask all the questions because we open it up. We create that community. And sometimes people really just pour out the essence of their hearts. And that's when we really all can begin to grow, because we are a divine reflection of each other. And what's happening to that one person in their share, most of us can relate to. We've been there, we've done that, or we might know of someone that what they're saying, the information could really benefit. So people can sign up at the wishalliance.org. Actually, most everybody that's on this call is actually part of that alliance, and we would love to have everyone to join us. So please, again, check us out at the wishalliance.org and just join the family. Come on home.
I have to just add to that. Since I've met you, I heard you at a conference a few months ago. I think it was the mid-year conference. But you changed my life, Sheila. Just listening to you really opened up my consciousness. You were talking about the hybrids, but also why it's so important to know. And I keep getting back to this, that it's so important for us to know how to connect with the divine, how to bring it down through our body, how our DNA is being activated. And so I just want to thank you, because coming to your conference last year did change a lot of things for me. And that's what I wanted to share.
Aw. Thank you.
No, it did. And then going to the Zoom events that you put on, just to put in a plug for that too, it's an intimate gathering. And that's what even the walk-in conferences, and we can even see it here, all the comments in the chat room. This is a subject that we all have so much invested in and want to talk about. And so it's quite a community to be a part of. So I want to thank you for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is when we're having the conference, people are chatting back and forth, and you can just watch the conversations, and people are making these plans to connect. It's like, give me a call, or let's hook up, or hey, did you know? And so that community starts to build with each and every conference that we have. And that is so, so important. Oh, yeah, I love these comments.
Yeah, I know. I'm reading the comments too. You know, my daughter tells me, Sheila, that we're not allowed to say hook up. Our generation says hook up as in get together, but for the younger generation, Bridget's
that's not what it means.
That's not what it means. She's like, Mum, you can't say
no.
I mean, they might be doing that too in the chat. You never know.
That's why
hey, I'm dated. What can I say? I'm 60, and I don't get all the new lingo.
There's a lot of lingo,
it means something
guys.
Totally different.
Like, I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, Bridget, we need the do's and the don'ts. Yeah, just catch me up.
We'll catch you up. We'll just catch you up on all of them. I mean, I use things that mean something totally different too, just because I think it's funny. But yeah.
I know,
You'll hear me say certain things, like talking about the low-hanging fruit within our consciousness, and I call it I don't know if I should say it on Joe's show, but I call it something else. And I'll keep it really PG because there's probably people that are listening. But yeah, I say that on Clubhouse all the time and everybody laughs because it has double meaning, right? But yeah, fun. We'll catch everybody up.
You speak about Clubhouse. I've not heard of Clubhouse. What is Clubhouse?
It's a drop-in audio-only app. So
it's an audio
app,
only,
and it's a social media app, but it's audio only. So you get to have this amazing experience on there. There you can find pretty much anything you want to jump in on there. I stay to the places that feel the way I want to play because it's global, right? So what's interesting about it is you are able to connect very deeply with people based on the substance of who they are through this app. And in the consciousness community, we are experiencing, a lot of really deep, fundamentally loving and supportive relationships through this for people from all around the globe that may not have connected in any other way. And when you take a lot of the visual out of it, and you have an image, right? And you have a bio, and then of course they can visit your Instagram and your Twitter and I think another thing through it. But when you take all of that out of there, you get to the substance of the perception and the stories and who the person is at the very core of their being. And I find that there are people from all different walks of life, of all age groups, just interacting and connecting and loving. And there's very much a oneness, unity vibe coming there. There are also places that don't have that. Don't get me wrong, but if you stay within, you'll feel it, right? You'll know where your tribe is. But it's like the tribes are coming together in small groups. And I've also found that it's kind of a macro or a micro of the macro, right? So it gives you kind of an idea. I've been in rooms with some of my Iranian friends that are in Iran that are talking about, consciousness, and that are talking about, extra dimensionals, ultra dimensionals. We'll just call them star beings because that's shorter. And they could, have some. They could be killed for this, right, in their country.
Wow.
So like they have to be careful about what they say in some places, I should say. But so there's conversations that are happening globally, and everyone's intermixing. So it's just, I love it. I think it's amazing, and it is really nice to just roll out, not have to worry about putting on makeup or looking cute, right? And just to go straight in and start talking. So, not that I don't look cute all the time, but you know what I mean.
No, I totally get it. Because that's why I went, I've had a show for like 12 years, and I was 5 years on radio for exactly that reason. Because my guide said, put your knob on YouTube. And I was just too critical of myself and vain and all that sort of stuff. And thought, no, if I want to speak a message, I'm just going to go on radio. That's sort of old world now. Radio is so old world, but it's voice only. And when I send my recordings to people with my sessions, I only send them the voice, because there's something about listening without the distraction of the visual. Because, as women, maybe we get a bit, like, no, my hair doesn't look all right. No, I look old today. We can get critical of our appearance. Joan's laughing. And if you take all that away, you can just listen. You can listen to the message without getting distracted by the visual. I get that. I totally get that. But the visual is great too.
Yeah. Yeah, we use those pictures a lot. I can see Steph talking, but Steph, we can't hear you. Is your mic muted? I can't see.
Yeah. Steph.
Unmute, Stephanie.
You're muted, honey.
There you go. You were not anymore. You're good.
I didn't mute myself. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, so it's funny. We have signatures, right, in our voices, and there's medicine there. Yeah. And we talk, I do light language, what I call heart streaming. And so what's interesting is Bridget and I met on Clubhouse, and I immediately recognized her as soul tribe or family from just the audio, and I can pick up frequencies in rooms and immediately can tell like what is not the resonance, right, as well. So it's very important for us to learn about frequency. This is one of my specialties, is understanding frequency first, right? And what is our bounce rate? Like when we have those days and we drop, it's okay. We're going to have life happen, but it's our bounce rate and how quickly can we recenter and harmonize and get plugged back in to really move through those energies, right? In whatever way that is for us. But it's interesting too. What's coming in is to give empowerment. I'm reading some of the chat, and I want to share this. If you're familiar with Hawkins' map of consciousness, 250 is neutrality, right? And if you can hold a 250 neutrality in this map of consciousness, what that means at a frequency level is you are counterbalancing 90,000 people who are still stuck in the lower shame, guilt, fear, anxiety, stress, all of those energies that just keep burning and churning, right? So this is how we can be really present in ourselves and empowered to know that we have an impact no matter what. If you can bring yourself into holding a neutrality, and what I mean by that is that graceful authority, that no matter what is happening in your world around you, things that you feel you can't control, or people doing this or that, and how it affects you, all of it, the more that you can really find yourself in that harmonic space of grace, it's so impactful, because you are counterbalancing 90,000 people who are literally like stuck in hell, let's just call it, right? And that is how we can serve. And I tell people this all the time, because I'll hear people say, oh, well, my knee, I can't walk, I can't do this, how can I take action, I'm too tired. Or if you can just bring in the frequency of light, just really connect to your light. And this is what angels are all about. And that is how you can greatly serve in any moment. And I just wanted to bring that reminder in for anyone who feels like, what do I do? And there's so much going on. And there is a lot going on, and it's awesome, because that means we're getting stuff done. So just in the sense of, there's actually something happening, right? And we've been seeing this now, for a while, but I do feel that we're really getting to a place where we're going to break through and have some beautiful, I'll call it divine intervention. And just wanted to offer that, for anyone who's just feeling a little bit disempowered, plug into your light, and just know that frequency is enough.
Yeah.
There's
I love
so
that.
many. That's so beautiful, Steph. Sorry. Did you want to say something, Sheila? I'll step back.
That's okay. Go ahead, Bridget.
I was just going to say there's so many ways to plug into that light too. So you can do an exercise of just holding the intention that you're breathing in light, and you're exhaling it as well. And as you're breathing it in, it's filling up your body just easily, effortlessly, without resistance. And allow it to go through your muscles, your bones, down in into your blood, and just hold that intention that it's going into the cells, and then to the atomic and subatomic levels. But as you're breathing it in, also allow that it's being breathed out into everything around you. And Steph, another name for this, but I call it the crystal diamond.
Did she freeze for everybody?
Yeah,
all right.
I call it the diamond light. She calls it, I think, crystal diamonds. I don't know what her terminology is. I call the diamond light the ascension keys that are coming in to light us up. So the plasma light, right? The crystalline plasma, Christ consciousness that's amplified. So I call it diamond light mastery, right, when we work with it. So she's speaking similar language and different wording, but that's what she was sharing. And it's true. When we just breathe in and connect to that light, breathe it into the heart, exhale out some of the static, right? Bring that light around us. I call that a halo. There's so much we can do with these technologies of soul, because we're connecting to the creator, and the creator always knows, exactly what we're here to do. And when we're connected to that, I always say, when people are first looking to connect to the creator of your soul. That is who your greatest authority would be. And yes, you have other teams and councils and insights and spirit guides, and of course, but when you really know your core signature at the soul level, that is where your greatest soul confidence can come in to then differentiate and discern, right? That's the most important. In my experience, being an angel in human form, to feel safe was requiring me to get very clear in my heart, get very clear in how to use that instrumentation, which is very highly profound and quantum. So that is my recommendation. And the diamond light I just use as another way of saying Christ light, right? Because sometimes that's a trigger for people. Let's be honest. Some people have traumas from religion and things. So I'm here to really neutralize a lot of the language and bring a universal consciousness around it. But yeah, it's a beautiful time for us to exchange in these ways and share intelligence, because we all have our different, what I call angel angle in it, right? And that's a beautiful thing, because then we get to say, oh, that's that part, yeah, and we get to kind of data collect and data exchange, and then we just have more of that spiritual toolbox, right, available to us. So I'm sure we're going to learn so much in the conference, Sheila, from so many. It's going to be really exciting.
Spiritual toolbox, love that.
It's definitely going to be exciting. And one of the things that I'm going to be talking about is the fact that, I did come in from the collective, and it was all created of this diamond-like energy. Mm-hmm. And we were working in the Earth's crystalline grid, which also surrounds the Earth, but it also runs through the Earth. And every single person is connected to that. And that is the Christ consciousness, or the unconditional crystalline light energy. And so I think that we all are talking about the same thing. We're just using different terminology, but the resonance is all the same. And so I'm going to be excited to share that too.
Yeah. You know what I've just realized listening to everyone today is, I have a lot of conversations with people who have had NDEs, near-death experiences, and there's a whole, there's IANS that's been going for 30 years. There's like a whole group across the world of people talking about NDEs, and most everyone that has some sort of NDE talks about having the after effects of an NDE. They put it in that lingo. And what I'm seeing is that they've just had another aspect of themselves walk in during that NDE experience, which has activated their DNA and all their empathic, intuitive, psychic abilities. So, the walk-in experience is happening in so many ways, and we're giving it different labels. We're saying, I had an NDE, or I had a Kundalini awakening, or, like we're seeing it's the same conversation, but across the board, just given different names, right? But it's all one experience, just with a different name.
It's true. Yep. It's all the awakening experience that we're having in different forms. Yours is different than mine, but we're all coming back to that center of who am I? Why am I here? I think it's the energies of these times. And that's why I think the conference is a great timing. 2022 is going to be huge. It's huge. It's going to, feel chaotic and feel exhilarating simultaneously. And I love that we're going to be able to give keys and clues during that conference for how to manage that. Especially having all these extra gifts that you guys as walk-ins have.
Yeah. 2022 is really when anyone that has identified their multidimensional nature and their empathic and intuitive gifts and know that they're here to make a difference in this world. If anyone ever thought, how do I do that? 2022 is going to reveal how they do that. It's really going to activate these people that are kind of sitting on the fence going, I know I'm here to make a difference, but what do I do? It's like 2022 is going to like really speak to you. Like, we need you, because there is going to be huge change in 2022. It's going to be big. Yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah, my guidance continues to tell me this is going to be the time of the great rebalancing.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah, it was interesting. I did a conference called Angelic Summit in 2020 and created something called the angelhood.com for angels to find each other. And what was funny about that was when we did a celebration to complete this journey we all did together, my angels came in, they said, party like it's 2022. And I went, really? That long? I was like, what does this mean, right? Because this is 2020, so 2 years away. And so that I knew what we were in for, I knew that was going to be a minute. And it was funny too, because when I wanted to create Angelic Summit, it came in very last minute in 2019. And I wanted more time, to produce it. And it was like 23 speakers. It was, how it is, Sheila. It's just like trying to organize all that. So it was so interesting as I said, well, can I do it in March? Can I just do it in March? They said, no, it'll be too late. Like, what do you mean it'll be too late, right? Because I didn't know COVID was coming. I mean, I don't do future forecasting on purpose, because where I put my consciousness, things tend to kind of happen at the manifestor level. So I'm very selective about, what I onboard into my consciousness. But when they said that, I got a little concerned. I went, oh, okay. So I knew there was a preparatory coming in, right? Which is what that was about. But I think we have these waves, we have these waves and these energies of the vortex energies, right? That are kind of like, what wants to really lock in place. And I tell people right now, especially, I said, be very aware of prophecy, be very aware of future forecasting right now, because
Yes.
everything's changing. It's like trying to peer into something and it's spinning like this. It's like you think you have it and then, changed, right? So I just tell everybody, just kind of light surf, jump on your board, you're surfing the waves. You're just going to have to do that for a while. But I do feel that 2022 is going to be a fantastic year of light rising for sure. That I do sense coming in for sure.
Beautifully said. Yeah, I love the way you said that, because I do feel that there's some energy coming in now, and we're in for a whole entire 365 days of some stuff that's going to be going down. But then at the same time, the prophecies and dates and all that, I really have been shifted away from it. I used to be more into that pre-2012, right? And because when we really just focus on this is when we're going to have this, the universe is an unconditional Xerox machine. It literally just reflects back more of what you put out there, And if you're saying if then statements, only create more if then statements. When we're there, I will be okay. When this occurs, then we will be fine. When March hits, then we'll see mass UFOs in the sky. What does the universe do? Just gives you more of that, and you're always waiting. You know what I mean? So, so I love the paradox. I keep saying if I change my rapper name, it would be MC Paradox, because I love paradox.
Yeah.
So
MC Paradox.
So the way you worded it, I just have to second everything you said, because the way you worded it was perfect. The energy is shifting like this, but just also don't be focusing on what's coming for your waiting for something. See what you can do in this moment right now, and how you can really embody your true gifts, So.
Absolutely, Neil. It's all about the now. It's all about feeling good in the now, enjoying this moment.
Yeah, right. Joy streaming in the moment. It's funny, Neil. I work with the Magdalene Consciousness and Yeshua as well. And Yeshua came in and one session and he says to me, let it all go. Just everything that was said before, prophecies, the Bible, all of it. He said, it's done. It's null and void. Let it go. From this moment forward, what do you want to build? And there's an understanding, of course, that people look to the past and they give their authority to the past because it's so old, and it's look at all this, and it's already happened, and it's been so correct. And it's well, of course, because you keep manifesting it because you believe in it. And if you keep believing and knowing that that's going to happen, guess what you're doing, right? So he was so funny about it, though. He was just can you just let it go now? Get off the cross. Everybody stop being saviors. We're not here to save the world. We're here to love it. We're doing a good job. Just keep doing what you're doing, but just please let it go. I just was okay. So it was really awesome. He's an interesting consciousness. I love working with him, but yeah, there's a massive amount of reset, and we really get to let things go. And instead of going back and replanting the seeds and rinse and repeating, we get to now say, what are the new seeds? What is the new seed lineage? What is the new coming in? And what is coming down now is consciousness to plant into the new world versus resetting it as a rinse and repeat, right? So that's the really important one too to think about.
Well, also when we're in the now moment, if we're linking the situation that is arising within the now moment to our history, we are creating a loop. Right? So it's unconscious patterning, but it can also be conscious, right? Mm-hmm. And we get to choose, right? So in each now moment, really where we're putting our focus is what we're going to get more of. So if we're in anxiety and stress and all of that, it's this perpetual cycle that we're creating for ourselves. So we're holding ourselves in bondage and in suffering, right? But on an unconscious level for most people. And what's interesting is, in a couple of visions that I had a while back, they were showing the ascension and a perspective of it, right? And one of the things they showed me was that there were multiple timelines in play, right? As there always are. We are timeline generating machines, you know, not literal machines, but you know, we're constantly shifting timelines every moment. But they were showing me a potential timeline, and in this timeline, it's like everyone had the opportunity to just reset, right? And there were people who were mourning the loss of their pain and their suffering and things like that because it happened so quickly. They were showing me probabilities, right? I'm not saying, you guys, everyone listening, I'm not saying this is the way it's going to happen. I just want to be very, very, very specific about that. And that was a long time ago, so we're probably well past that one. But so yeah, it was very interesting. And we see that, we can see that in people as in ourselves too, as we're moving beyond something. Like there's always that moment of, oh wait, should I go back to my comfort, right? And it's time to step out of that comfort, right? Because it's not really comfort. It's the illusion of comfort, right? Today we get to decide, we get to choose every single moment. We get to become conscious, we get to become aware of how we're living our lives. And we get to really, if we see something in the world that lights our heart up, we can stop and say, yes, I want more of this in this world, please. More of this energy, feeling grateful, bringing it in, you know, asking for more. Gratitude, honestly, if you don't know, gratitude is a secret ingredient to almost everything in the human experience. Gratitude and love, right? But yeah, so, absolutely. You know, if we spend time envisioning and thinking about what we want, but not just thinking about it, like feeling what it will be like, holding the energy of it within our own experience, that's what generates it within, you know, the now for everyone. We are the frequency. Said. We are the 5D frequency, and then it is expressed in our external reality. So it's not somewhere we have to go. It's someone we get to be, and we get to choose.
Yeah. Beautiful. It's 11:11 here in Sydney, Australia. Right on.
Yay!
Wow.
I'm going to sign off. 7:11.
Bye, Karen.
Thanks, Karen.
They're shifting. So, guys,
I want you all on my show. The angels said to me a while ago, get more angel people on the show. We want to share our message. So I've got to get you angel gals on. And Bridget and Neil, we'll get it organized next year.
Yeah, let's do it.
Big love. I've had Sheila on the show. You've got to check out Sheila's story. She's amazing. All right. Bye. Love you all.
Bye, Karen.
Right, so, Joan.
Yes.
So I think we're going to wrap up soon. I'm going to make a couple announcements, but then you can close it out. How about that? Is that good?
Perfect.
All right. So just want to say to everybody, first of all, thank you to all the panelists. And I know Joan's going to probably thank everybody individually again. But I want to make a couple of announcements of two other upcoming events. One is coming up this weekend on Sunday, and I am doing my Truth, Life, and Times of Pythagoras event. I have 100 people signed up right now. And oh my God, the information that I am finding out about Pythagoras is like, I literally.
He's a mystic and amazing.
Oh my God, religious cult leader to his issues with beans and how he went on this whole campaign on people shouldn't eat beans because when they fart, they lose a part of their soul.
Yeah.
all the way to the religious
stuff.
Of harmonics and mathematics, and how I have deciphered and delved into many different places he went, including Babylon, ancient Egypt, and in the Hindustan, in Afghanistan area, and the Brahmins that he actually spoke to in order to get the number 0, and how he basically put all of these ancient mystery schools together into one. And so we're going to talk about Samos, Greece, where he was born. We're going to talk about his mother. We're going to talk about the fact that he thought he was the son of God, and his mother probably had a virgin birth, and how that actually even occurred, and why he thought he was actually reincarnated, and that he had 4 reincarnations that he remembered, and what those lives were, right? So it's going to be really deep. That's on Sunday. portaltoattention.org, online events, the first one there. And then after that, on the 21st, is going to be my annual Pagan Origins of Christmas and New Year's event, in which I evolve it every single time, We have 550 people signed up for that, so it's going to be huge, and it's free. So if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. It's going to be on YouTube as well. If you want to get the Zoom registration, you can also check that out. I'll have it in the description for the YouTube video. But this year, we're going to concentrate on Julius Caesar and what he did in regards to changing the months to 30 and 31 days. But the most important part of it all is, how does Christmas relate to psychedelic mushrooms, you know, which is entirely what the holiday is all about. And a little spoiler alert, right? The ornaments under the trees are the mushrooms. The presents under the trees are the mushrooms. The ornaments on the trees are the mushrooms when they were put there on the solstice to dry, so that the shamans could come back on the 25th and pick the mushrooms. And then deer would actually go and eat the mushrooms on the tree, and then they would urinate themselves because they were so high, creating snow cones with psychedelics in them that the shamans would drink, and then they saw flying reindeer. Boom. So like we're gonna go deep into the traditions of Christmas and everything like that. So
Neil,
please
you're
do.
my new
I
best
have
friend. I love you.
Wow. Okay, that is mind-boggling, Neil. Everyone's going to sign up for that.
I have a Christmas ornament with a Santa Claus, and his sack has mushrooms hanging out of it. I'll take a photo and send it to you.
Oh my God.
Well, last thing on that, the mushroom, Santa Claus's outfit is actually the color and the outfit of the Amanita muscaria mushroom. It had black boots, black trunk, and then the red and white are actually the colors of the mushroom that they were ingesting. So Santa Claus is actually wearing the mushroom. So it's just hardcore psychedelics, but that connects into how the mushroom is actually Christ consciousness energy, and then we have the Christ consciousness season. So it's really, really esoteric when we get down with it. So yeah, again, go ahead and subscribe. And those are the 2 upcoming events. That's how we're going to close out the year, okay? With a lot of fun.
Awesome, Neil. Thank you, Neil.
That's so fun.
Who can match that?
Totally Neil. Only portal to ascension.
Right. So anyone who comes to that conference then has the ability, you're going to see those flying reindeer.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's an amazing story, Neil. And I love that you have a history of giving and gifting certain conferences and certain presentations. And there's so much free information anyway available on Portal to Ascension, but I just love that you're constantly offering this. So thank you. From humanity to you.
Thanks, Joan.
Yeah, really appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
All right, Joan, take us home, Joan.
All right. Well, guys, it's been a fantastic. I feel like this has been part panel, part conference, and part great chat with really amazing people. So I really appreciate that, guys. So if you're out there listening and you have not signed up for the walk-in conference, I highly suggest you sign up. We've given you several ways you can sign up for the conference. And Neil, what's that discount again?
Yes, use the code PTA, so Portal to Ascension, PTA 25.
All in caps, guys. PTA 25. I don't know how we can, and that's your discount. So sign up for the walk-in conference. We're going to have an awful lot of fun on that conference. And meanwhile, I really thank you, Neil. I thank all of you guys for what you've been doing. I can't wait to hear your presentations. And having heard you the other night and now watching you, I have the same thing that Karen says. I'm going to have you all on my show. The energy here is just awesome, and I appreciate that so much. So meanwhile, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe all the material out for us. Also, check out my site, joanofangels.com. We have a lot of information there about remembering who you are, which is also the theme of everything that all of us are doing. So I want to thank you all, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you so much, Sheila.
Oh, thank you. It's been so fun.
Bridget, it's so nice to see Bridget besides her voice. And we'll see you all soon. Have a great, blessed time until we see you all next time. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.